Well, welcome back. And Samsung unpacking its newest devices and handsets to great global fanfare in February. But how do you sustain that excitement? Well, by getting the devices into the hands of consumers, of course. The brand opting for an experiential studio in Sandton City here in Gauteng, where members of the public could get up close and personal with the devices. And of course, a little bit of star power always goes a long way.
I chose to associate myself with the Samsung brand because firstly, it's for everybody. One of my favorite phones when I was growing up was the D500. So when they approached us, it was like, yo, this is mad dope because I've got a dope story to tell. When I was growing up, it's a product that I've actually used. I really love the S10's camera. I can finally post videos and pictures without having to put filters on them. I love the super slow-mo on the camera as well. The power sharing feature where you can charge other people's phones.
Following the global launch in San Francisco, we now bring the experience of S10 to the South African public. And that is why we're having this amazing experience at Sandton City, in Devon Gateway, and also in Cape Town. What we're giving, it'll be very hands-on experience as to what the S10 can show. For example, the security features of biometric reader on your security, ultrasonic fingerprint, which is really world-class. Also the ultra-wide angle lens, which is also world-class. And also looking at an AMOLED screen, which is also, that gives you cinema-grade quality. And that's what we'll be showcasing. Including our new gaming features with Fortnite, we'll be showing us today. So it's a hands-on experience to create fun and excitement around the launch of Galaxy X10.
Now, getting devices into the hands of the youth is one thing. Getting them to look up from those devices is a different challenge entirely. Alternative media company Boo recently launching a first-of-its-kind initiative specifically geared at giving universities a real-time communication platform to reach its students.
We're an advertising media company that looks to operate in environments where we can package up advertising for advertisers. So a lot of our research came back telling us that there's a void in the marketplace for brands being able to talk to students within the campus environment.
We have 37,000 students. We've got 7,000 or so staff members, and it's very difficult to reach people. People aren't reading emails anymore. They aren't reading lengthy documents. So there are only two ways in which we can reach them, and that is the one is through these electronic notice boards when they are on campus, and the other is through social media. What we found is that we can adapt the content from social media for the electronic notice boards and vice versa, and that's been quite useful for us.
Strategically placed LED screens in high traffic areas on campus ensures eyeballs, which also makes this an attractive prospect for any brand wanting to reach this difficult and fickle consumer group.
Yeah, research came back telling us that advertisers would ideally want the top 10 universities to start with. So they would want to be able to engage with students within the campuses of the top 10. So our starting point was really to look at the big guys, the Wits, the UJs, the Stellenbosch, the UCTs, Pretoria, etc. And that really was our starting point. It's been a long journey. It doesn't happen fast. We do have further plans, but the starting point was really looking at the top 10 to 12 universities.
We've had numerous requests, I must say, in the last sort of 6 weeks since these boards went up, for everybody wanting to have their stuff placed on there. So it works for students, it works for our internal communities, as well as for visitors to the university. And for us, it's been an important value add this year.
Beyond the commercial objectives, the platform also provides an opportunity for up-and-coming creative talent to get in on the action and help the learning institutions create interesting and relevant content for the student market.
It's been interesting. We've started to get a lot of queries from students saying we've noticed that there's a campus TV network running. We've got a web development business. How do we advertise on your network? And typically one doesn't want to clutter the screen with too many ads. It's literally almost 70% content, 30% advertising ratio. So what we're doing is we're creating a category for those startup entrepreneurs who may also be graduates or students, whereby they're not paying the full rate card that the national advertisers would pay, where we can help grow those incubation businesses, and so we're offering packages for them as well.
It's been efficient, it's been professional. What you do need, though, are people who can produce professional content and content that attracts young people. So I think it doesn't help to have 40-plus people like me sitting there producing the content. And so we've actually got a lot more young people come into our studios to give us some ideas of what they would like to see on the boards.
But here's the kicker, though. Through a profit-sharing model, Boo Media wants to play a role in solving the ongoing student funding crisis.
This has been one of the driving forces behind the initiative. We've coined the phrase the Media Transformation Project, which is what we call it. We do a revenue share on all the income that we receive, and that goes back to each respective university. That income is then managed centrally by the finance departments of each of the universities. That money then is really the university's discretion to utilize. The big needs since the Fees Must Fall initiative have been to drive what universities term third stream income. So this is a great initiative to drive and grow third stream income for universities, and that income will absolutely, in one way or another, flow back to the students to help fund their academic studies.
Finally this week, a look behind the scenes of a new campaign for Hennessy Brandy, the alcohol brand enlisting legendary filmmaker Ridley Scott to create a sensorial odyssey entitled The Seven Worlds. The short film explores the 7 tasting notes found in Hennessy. And here's how it was done. As always, you can connect with us on social media. Until next time, goodbye to you. Thank you for watching.
I've always been thinking that if something special comes along, I'd do it. And this is special. It's more than advertising. It's a form of entertainment. And I think advertising has realized after 30 years, it must shift back to entertainment and stop treating their consumers like demographics. This is pure art, what we're doing. That's what attracted me. I can literally visualize, and if I'm getting really into it, I'll really do a very detailed storyboard. My creative process has got me into more trouble than anything over like 40 years of advertising, but I'm still here so much for doing something right. Can't really write that down. If I get an idea, if I think it sounds good, I'll just go for it, and then I'm unrelenting. Picture's worth 1,000 words. I think Hitchcock said that. I was attracted by the art of it, and if you get the art right, you are going to communicate. Am I getting your attention? If I'm getting your attention, at the end of it, you're going to stay with it. Then they're going to